Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with Menik. And today, from much demand on the Coachella message board, we'll be cooking the classic meal of Kraft macaroni and cheese. The cheesiest. And I love cheese and I love macaroni, so let's get started. We're just going to follow the instructions here on the box, which say, but we should always actually, before anything else, we should always check the date on food, because you don't want to eat bad food. If something's expired, it's going to be an ugly picture. So it's a bad habit of mine maybe, but I always check the date on food. And this says best when used by May 31st, 2008. So it's actually a good thing we're using this, because if I didn't use it, it'd probably go bad. So anyway, it says cooking instructions. Number 1. Boil water, stir in macaroni, boil 7 to 8 minutes or until macaroni is tender, stirring occasionally. So that's what we're going to do first, is boil some water, and let's go. Alright, it said to take 6 cups of water, and so that's what we're going to do. Most people could probably eyeball what 6 cups of water is. They can just pour it in, but we're going to do it the right way by taking our 1 cup measuring cup and filling it with water 6 times and pouring it in the pot. So here we go. Let's turn the water on and fill it up. Pour it in. Fill it up. We just take your pot of 6 cups of water, which we just filled up, put it on the burner, and eventually the water will start to boil. It'll probably take at the max maybe 10 to 11 minutes for it to really get going. But after that, we'll just add in our noodles. So I actually did a science experiment once where I took all sorts of different liquids and see which one would boil the fastest. And I think it was tomato paste would boil faster than water or apple juice, soda, orange juice, you name it. So that's your fun science fact for the day. Anyway, we'll let this boil and we'll come back and add the noodles when it's ready. Alright, so now our water's boiling. Step 2 says, we're still on step 1. Stir in macaroni, boil 7 to 8 minutes or until macaroni is tender. So we're just going to open the box. It says open, push here. There we go. Take out the cheese packet. We'll use that for later. And then you just pour the noodle, take our wooden spoon, and so let's just pour the noodles into the pot. And we're not going to use all the noodles, because generally the less noodles you use, the more cheesy you'll get when you use a cheese packet. And I like my stuff really cheesy, so I'm going to use 3/4 of the noodles. I could make an extra cheese sauce, but you put butter and flour, then cook that, and you whisk in some milk, and you add shredded cheese and milk, all that, and you can pour that over the macaroni and cheese. But it's a lot of work. I really don't feel like making an extra cheese sauce, but I want my stuff to be cheesy, so I'm just going to use less noodles, the standard amount of cheese that they give you, and that'll equal more cheesy noodles, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me, so just follow with me, alright? So we're just going to pour in about 3/4 of the noodles into the pot. So to just stir them occasionally. You don't want to do that, which is spilling water out the frickin' pot. But just take your spoon or whatever you have and just pretty much just kind of go along with it like that. And you just want to stir occasionally so none of the noodles stick to the bottom of the pan. Because obviously this process here is just to soften up the noodles and cook them so when you're ready to eat them later on. So you don't want them sticking to the pan, so you just kind of stir it up every now and then to make sure they're moving around in there. And about 6 to 7 minutes from now, they'll be ready to go, and we can add our cheese and our other flavoring and be good to go. Alright, our noodles have finished boiling and cooking, so we're ready to move on to the next step, which is to take our noodles, as the box says, drain, do not rinse, return to pan. So we're just going to take our noodles, pour them in, drain it, and pour them back in the pan. So I'm an advocator of, or whatever, I'm safety first, so take our safety oven mitt, and so we don't burn our hand down or whatever. We're just going to take our pot, right here, but first we'll take our, I think it's called a colander. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I think that's what it's called. I don't know, whatever. Thing with holes in it that the water will fall through. So we'll take that, and we'll take our pot, and we'll go drain it in the sink. Alright, so we're just going to pour the contents of the pan into the colander, which will then drain the water. Alright, so the box says to add margarine, milk, and cheese sauce. Mix well. And how much of that, you ask? Well, it'll be 4 tablespoons of margarine, a quarter cup of 2% milk, and obviously the cheese packet. So we're just going to mix all that together, and that's what we're going to do right now. So first things first, we'll take our margarine, butter, whatever you want to call it. I really don't know how to measure a tablespoon. I have no idea what a tablespoon measurement is. It says 4 of them, but we're just going to slice off some bricks in our butter and just pour it in there. So whatever, right? So we'll take our first knife. That's 1 cut of butter. 2, which obviously didn't even make it in the pot. Right here. 2. 3, and obviously 1 more. 4. And there we go, we got 4 tablespoons of margarine or butter. Well, I don't even know what the difference between margarine and butter is, so don't ask me. Next we'll take, it says a quarter cup of milk, which does not seem like very much, but that's what it says, so we're going to go with it. So we'll take our 2% milk, which I just so happen to have. We're going to pour it in here without spilling it, but knowing me, I probably will spill it. Here's our quarter cup of milk. Pour it in there. That really does not seem like a lot, but whatever. We'll go with it for right now. Then we're just going to tear open our cheese packet, pour it in, and we'll start to stir. And after it's all mixed, we should be able to go eat. So open up the cheese. I love cheese. I'm going to pour that in there. And now we'll stir. So that's what it looks like when you have all your ingredients poured in. So now we're just going to take our wooden spoon and begin to stir. And pretty much you're just stirring it so the butter melts in with the cheese and the milk, obviously. And so I was hoping, by using less noodles it'd be a little bit more cheesy, but oh well, not everything's perfect, I guess. But whatever the case, just keep on stirring it. And I guess that was enough milk. It didn't look like enough milk, but apparently it's mixed pretty well. I was almost alright. So our noodles were boiled. We mixed all the ingredients together. We stirred it. Got the golden cheesy look to it. So I plopped that on a plate. And it looks like that. You're good to go. So here we go. Macaroni and cheese, made especially by me. Now obviously, some people might think that's a little plain. What do you add macaroni and cheese? Some people prefer to add broccoli. Other people add cheese sauce over the top of it. Maybe hot dogs, whatever. Unfortunately, I don't have any of that. I don't have any broccoli. There's no hot dogs. I don't even have crackers to eat with it. I guess you could add chili if you wanted to, but I just had chili the other day, so I'm not really in the mood for chili. So today it's just me some plain macaroni and cheese. But it's still good because I still love cheese. It still fills you up. It's a good, quick meal for an afternoon when you're at home with no job, nothing to do, like me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's show, and until next time, I don't know what I'll be cooking next time, but I'll think of something. But until next time, eat some cheese, make some macaroni, and enjoy.